Greetings. Welcome to another edition of Your Eyes Better Flavor as we continue with the dynamic relationship between eating and sexual energy. Another little side story, another little component of it that I really added after I experienced what happened with me specifically yesterday. So I was preparing lunch for one of the schools that I deal with, and I decided I wanted to make something relatively simple. So I did chana masala and seasoned green beans. And normally I would at least want to do the chana over rice or over quinoa, but I said, you know what, let's just rock it like this. So I rocked it like that, and it tasted great, if I may say so myself. But I felt like it wasn't sexy enough. And that's not really a term that I use, but after comparing that with some observations throughout the day as it relates to people and how we dress, I realized that that's a very appropriate term. Because first, let me continue with the eating. It's sexy to say you had a ribeye or a filet mignon or shrimp scampi, if people even eat shrimp scampi anymore. But shrimp is sexy. What else is sexy? Lamb, that's sexy. Steak, whatever kind you get, whatever cut you get, that's sexy. It feels good for people to be able to say that they had certain things, that they ate certain things. Lasagna is sexy. Fettuccine Alfredo, that's sexy. Now, forgive me if I don't know all of the sexy foods of the day. I've been out of that game for a minute, but I get it, that it needs to be sexy. Now, you contrast that and you look at, for me as a man, looking at a woman. One of the things that I like to talk to sisters about is you're doing way too much oftentimes. You need not go through all of those changes. You need not reveal and display everything that you are displaying, because I don't know what comedian said it, but it's something that I speak to often when I talk about relationships and women and dealing with how you make yourself appealing. But we don't really need to see skin to appreciate you physically. You don't need to have on tight garments for us to appreciate you physically. It's not necessary. So I've spent most of all of my adult life, I think from the time I was a late teenager, I was able to appreciate a woman being 3/4 covered. And part of that is really because of who I am and how I was taught to appreciate women. But a lot of it is my spirit. A lot of it is what I sincerely feel. Now, certainly I appreciate the female anatomy and can appreciate clothed and unclothed. But looking at a post that I saw on Instagram, and this is really what inspired me to address this component of the dynamic between eating and sexual energy. It was a lioness attempting to draw the attention of a lion, and she was all in front of him with her butt in his face, and then she walked around him, and she jumped over him, and she put her butt up against his leg, like dude, you need to know that I'm here and that I'm ready for it. And dude wasn't interested. And so he didn't really pay her any mind. So I realized that a lot of times that's what's happening. Now, yes, there are women who dress because that's how they want to dress. That's a whole other reason, and we'll get to that. But at the point where you are attempting to get the attention of someone, and you decide that you're going to dress a certain way to do so, you have to recognize that there's an opportunity for you to fall back on that and re-strategize. And that, that's the sincere self-worth, pseudo self-worth component of the reasoning as well. So I get it that there's a thing of, it's not sexy to have steamed broccoli over quinoa with avocado. That doesn't sound sexy. I get it. But that's usually, this sexy component, this sexy idea is usually associated with somebody else in a picture. You talking to someone else, or you're dining with someone else. But remember, this process right here, being better by eating better, this is about you developing or redeveloping a relationship with you. You developing a more founded, grounded, sincere relationship with you. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And in many respects, we can't afford for it to matter what anybody else thinks. So I will leave you with that to reflect upon and ponder and contemplate and build on and from. Give thanks. Yah-I is better flavor. Keeping it moving forward. So let's keep the reasoning flowing. Give thanks. Peace.